Vindariel is a tall and very skinny figure with 1.8 meters, or 6 feet. She wears her long blonde hair mostly open so that the wind can play around with it, covering mostly the left side of her head so it does not handicap her when she's taking a shot. Vindariel will rarely be seen without a quiver and a bow, even if she is in one of the cities, and thanks to the special laws considering elves, she usually is not bothered by anyone. She prefers to wear a light leather armor to give at least a little protection in combat, and even owns a helm which Arbush had made for her. Her eyes sparkle in a deep amethyst color, a circumstance which led to Arbush first talk to her, pointing out exactly this fact. She was laughing so loud that everyone looked at the unlikely pair of the two of them in the tavern near Fadok, and the rest is, as they say, history. Vindariel certainly is an unusual presence in most parts of Aventuria, being an elf and being everything but shy in contact with humans. However, she learned that not everyone can be trusted, and so on a second look, it can be seen that she always has a hand near one of her weapons. When talking to the group, she appears to be curious, but will not take charge of negotiations or something like that. Vindariel grew up in a small forest village of her clan in the Salamander Mountains, a little east of where the story takes place. She lived her childhood years in the protection of said village and learned to be a hunter. She was really good at this, and her younger years taught her all the necessary skills to survive in the wilderness. She spent days and weeks wandering through the forests, visiting other clans, and someday she even made it to the northern villages of the men in Weiden. It was a strange experience for her, seeing those people living in dead houses, struggling with everyday life in the wild. But she was willing to help, and the people were grateful for it. She hunted a little bit with them, and they traded some of their crafts. But whenever she brought up this topic with her clan, it was restrained. The elders would not want anything to do with humans. Vindariel, though, being nice and helpful, kept on helping and learned about humans. She learned about how they live their life and what their purposes in life are. Taking pity in their existence and questioning why her clan would not help them, she entered the stage in the elven development that is considered not to be healthy for the clan. And it was when she got into a very loud argument with one of the elders that she realized that the little village in the mountains is no longer her home, and that her behavior would only harm the existence of the harmony of the clan. It was this point in time when she realized that she has grown up completely and that her new home would be in between the worlds of men and elves. So she took her bow and left. Sometimes she would like to visit her old clan, and the invitation to Kvirazim certainly strengthened this desire, but she knows very well that she does not longer belong to the elven clans in the mountains. After Vindariel left her clan, she tried living with the humans in their village, but she quickly felt that she does not belong into the village living as well. So she started to travel longer distances to see other lands, how other elves live, and spend time with other humans as well. She let herself be guided by the winds and her mood, and ended up in Fadok eventually, where she met Arbush in one of the local taverns. In a cute attempt of flattery, the two got into a conversation about traveling, humans, and helping others, and they decided to travel together. Vindariel because it seemed safe. Arbush seemed like a little brother to her. Arbush because he liked the light and uncomplicated nature of Vindariel. So both traveled for a bit and got into some smaller adventures, while helping locals with a bunch of bandits and recovering a lost child from what was supposed to be a magical forest. After these stories, they decided to travel north since Arbosh heard stories about dragons near the stone oak forest. Vindariel often left her home for different spans of time, days or even weeks, to hunt for the clan or later to travel around to visit other clans and villages of the humans. After being around humans for several years, Vindariel does understand the concept of a deity. She is not religious, though. She is convinced that there is a being somewhere with a lot more power than mortals have, but why ask those for support or non-interference? Those beings would do whatever pleases them. Magic is a natural part of all life. Some beings have a deeper binding to the light and thus can make use of the forces of nature. Vindariel does like magic as tool for hunting or fun or to be one with the nature. She does like magic of witches and druids as being harmonic with nature mostly. She does not understand the academic approach that Kaya and Alrik use, but it is obviously very human to treat nature like this. Enslaving the forces of nature can only end in the destruction of the natural order of things. She got in quite some arguments about the usage of the word enslaving here with Kaya. Vindariel is very careful with her own life and with the lives of others. She would currently only considering risking her life for Arbosh under certain circumstances. Different to other people in her group, she does not consider retreat as being a coward and rather take this option than end up in an unwinnable situation. Vindariel openly states that her greatest desire would be to get back to her clan, but she knows that this will never be possible since her entire existence has gone too far from the light of the elves. Vindariel is terribly afraid of demons. She has seen two so far, and her mere existence struck paralysis and fear into her heart. These things are so far from the essence of existence that even being close to them can destroy a life. Similarly to Arbosh, Vindariel does not care about human laws or law enforcements. She is very aware of regulations, though, but she also thinks that those are just rules to make living together more bearable for humans. On the other side, acts of evil are against her nature, and she will never consider doing something like this. Kaya's methods sometimes strike her as unnatural, and she knows that she and Kaya will never be friends. She usually is careful when it comes to strangers, since she learned the hard way that humans do sometimes have evil in their hearts. She is much more relaxed with Arbosh and Alrik around, and she also got used to Shireen and trusts her judgment of people. The entire world is alive, and it is to be protected from harm if possible. Interestingly enough, she does not consider things which harm life without necessity as life itself. So she will kill an orc without hesitation if he just enjoys killing others. However, if he is just hunting to have some food, why would she intervene? Everything and every creature has its purpose. Some animals have the purpose of feeding others. Some to deliver a pelt, some to deliver leather. Some do have their own light and can be valuable companions. And then there's the fox, the most intelligent of all animals, and the one creature that Vindariel talks to beside her companions. Maybe she would risk her life for him? It is in Vindariel's nature to adore the beauty in all forms. She can talk about this topic for hours and hours, and even a very patient Arbosh would get bored at some point. Vindariel does enjoy fresh water the most, but sometimes likes to spice it up a little with herbs of the forest. She is used to eat nearly everything for survival, but she really does enjoy sweets and has taken a liking in those pastries that Ulrich likes to buy. Vindariel is very careful about this topic. She does realize that a lot of humans think that adventures of this kind with an elf is desirable, but she has not yet met a human being whom she would share this with. Ulrich seemed to be a candidate in the first weeks, but he is just too inexperienced as an individual, too naive for this. And to most elves, Vindariel is not a person whom they would share this with. Vindariel has no dark secrets. Her curiosity used to be a dominant trait until she started traveling with Arbash. She became more and more careful after this, but in general she is enjoying life and the fact that she can be around as a living being. This joy is her dominant trait.